categorically insane finish to the 60th annual Labor Day Classic. We're going to get into it all here on your live post-game show covering Bombers Riders on Bonfire Sports. It's Game Day After Dark. Darrin Bauming here, as you can see, live from Ground Zero, Mosaic Stadium in Regina, Saskatchewan. And of course, joined as always by our post-game friend, Schnitzy. Zach Schnitzer, back at Bonfire headquarters, we'll call it, at the beautiful DoubleTree by Hilton, home of the 1930 crew, and many other of those clad in blue and gold. Schnitzy, you were here tonight at Mosaic. The Bombers lose a thriller, 34-30 against the team with the best record in the CFL right now. The Saskatchewan Roughriders improved to 9-2. Winnipeg falls to 6-5. But they get to face each other again next week at a sold-out Madhouse on Matheson, Princess Auto Stadium in Winnipeg. Your initial thoughts before we get into all of the things we do here on the postgame show, including video highlights, video lowlights. We're going to rewatch all of those key moments. It's the only place you can get it here on Bonfire Sports. How are you feeling, first off?
You know, Darrin, am I disappointed? Absolutely. This was heartbreaking because when you come to Regina all the way from Winnipeg or wherever people came from, whoever's listening, I met people today, Darrin, from Alberta who live in Saskatchewan, from BC. This was a classic game. And there's nothing better than coming into the toilet bowl, taking a dump, and not wiping up, right? Winning on Labor Day is an incredible feeling. Sorry, that was disgusting, Darrin. But winning on Labor Day is incredible. Last year was incredible. There is almost no better feeling for a Bombers fan. Okay, so this one hurts. It stings. Now, sometimes, Darrin, when the Bombers get close at the end, they don't pull it out. It hurts even more because you got close and you still lost. But here's the thing with this team, and I'm a little bit optimistic here, because they went into one of the toughest places to play in the CFL on Labor Day, where the Bombers typically lose, although not in the last few years, okay? Playing the best team in the CFL, with the best run defense, with the best D-line.
In their barn. In
Mosaic. They were down by 14 points with 4:11 left in the fourth quarter, Darrin. And they nearly came back and tied it and almost won it. And I will argue, and we'll talk about this throughout the show, I think the Bombers beat themselves more than they lost to the Riders.
Ooh, hot take.
Stupid penalties. Questionable play calling. We can argue about how Brady only got 11 touches.
Oh, and we're going to talk about that. We are going to talk about that.
Second half. There's lots to talk about. But at the end of the day, the Bombers could have and maybe should have won this game, Darrin. And now we're in a situation where the Bombers are firmly in third place, fighting with BC for that crossover. Now, if they can turn the tables next week, great. But here's the thing. They've lost to Calgary 3 times. The last time, they lost by a point on a walk-off. They could have beaten Calgary. They can beat Calgary. And they can beat Saskatchewan. They can. And so I think Bomber fans can take heart. You had receivers step up, Darrin. You had Collaros. He underthrew a couple balls, and we can argue about the 2-point convert, which was returned for a 2-pointer the other way, which was the difference in the game. But I thought Collaros played well. So I think there's some things to be optimistic about. At the end of the day, it's a tough, tough loss in enemy territory, and one that'll take a little while to get over. Oh, buddy, I can't hear you.
No doubt about it. All the things you touched on, absolutely, is what I was saying. Some people in the live chat saying, DB, what's going on? Here it is. Doug, no apologies for being 45 minutes late to your own show? Well, here I am at Mosaic, okay? And when you want to talk about an important game like this, don't you want some insight from inside the Blue Bombers locker room? Because that's where I was. My man and yours, Zach Nolan, who's currently in his second year, just started at Creative Communications at Red River. Oh, I think he's going to make an appearance. We headed inside the Bombers locker room. There he is. What's up, Zeno? Back to tech support, he says. We went inside the locker room because we wanted to get live reaction and immediate reaction. And we're going to hear from Willie Jefferson and Deatrick Nichols, who went into detail about that whole situation and the single point Winnipeg ended up giving up. Just a crazy finish. We'll watch it. We'll hear from Deatrick. We'll hear from Brady Oliveira and Nick Dembski. We'll hear from Mike O'Shea and Zach Collaros. But that's why we're 45 minutes late. I would say we're right on time so we could digest an absolutely bonkers game that the Saskatchewan Roughriders were able to win in the 60th annual Labor Day Classic. Great to see everybody in the live chat. Randall D says, mistakes, penalties. Saskatchewan front four bullied the Blue Bombers. Where's Brady? 6 days to fix it. Yes, the Banjo Bowl on Saturday. So, here we are on late Sunday night, 11:30 in Winnipeg, 10:30 here in Regina. The one thing I like about this province is that they do not adhere to daylight savings, but I digress.
Let's get it, Jared. Let's bring some levity and have a debate about daylight savings right now.
Right? I love the people here.
On this.
I love the people here. I love that they don't adhere to daylight savings.
All the time, they're always behind.
Exactly. This part of the world when it's dark at 5 o'clock, in the winter. Anyway, to me, this game, Schnitzy, it came down to a couple key elements. Okay. First off, I think it's very important for Bombers fans to understand and to maybe take a breath and understand what I'm saying here. And that is, this was a very, very close game between two very good teams. I think Winnipeg is much, much better than they were earlier this year. A lot better. Are they as good as the Saskatchewan Roughriders? Arguably, you could say yes, they are. And Bomber fans are going to talk about Brady and penalties and play calling and coaches' decisions about field goals and not going for it on second and goal and, from the 2 or third and goal from the 2 and all of these things, okay? But in the end, these two teams threw haymakers, absolute slobberknocker battle of a game that went right down to the wire with some wild CFL craziness. Crazy Football League is what it stands for. But the key elements that stood out to me, and I kind of wrote down in my notes here, I want to talk about play calling, particularly Winnipeg's offensive play calling, usage of Brady Oliveira. I know you got a hot take on this, Schnitzy. I'm looking forward to that. Just mentioned that field goal decision. Quarterback pressure, and both the pressure Saskatchewan put on Winnipeg and Zach Collaros, and the pressure that Winnipeg put on Trevor Harris, and how it seemed to change drastically from the first half when they were in his face to the second half when Harris and the run game were able to really churn up, production and help Saskatchewan score points when they needed to, go out to that big 31-17 lead with about 6 minutes remaining. Winnipeg's run defense in key moments was no good, period. Those big gashing runs by Mario Anderson, like I was expected to talk about Super Mario being Mario Alford, and he ends up with a critical fumble that kept Winnipeg in the game. It was Mario Anderson and his numbers and his big touchdown run that was really impressive for Saskatchewan. Winnipeg's young defensive backs, the young defensive backfield, I think is why they struggle in consistency on a broad scale defensively. Like Winnipeg's defense on a broad scale is struggling because of those young guys on defense. In Cam Allen, forgive me, Vavel
Jr.
Yes,
yeah.
Thank you. And
Darrin, let me jump in on that in a minute, but you finish your thought.
Well, yeah, and then I think you touched on it. Just the last thing I was going to say. I was really impressed with Zach Collaros. We could look at his numbers. I was really, really impressed with Zach Collaros because when he was clutch and needed to be clutch, he was. And, the one interception that we'll look at, I mean, this is the type of quarterback a football team needs. And it's what the Winnipeg Blue Bombers are getting. He was 26 of 37. They threw the ball a lot. We'll talk about Brady and all that. But when you're 70%, you throw 3 touchdowns, you got a great efficiency rating of 113, and Still no semblance of a run game to balance that out. I was really, really impressed with Zach Collaros. I think he's settling in as the season goes on. That's not to say much about the offensive line, the play calling, the game planning, those sorts of things. I feel like maybe I don't want to, toe to the edge of the edge of the line yet and say Winnipeg is winning despite play calling and player usage, but it's kind of trending, or has been trending for a long time now, where good players, Dembski, Oliveira against Montreal versus tonight, kind of polar opposites. Dalton Schoen was very good. They're kind of big guys, big players are making big plays, but I still really don't like, not a huge fan of the Winnipeg's play calling and offensive game planning right now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think there's a lot we could talk about tonight, Darrin. I do want to give a shout out to the defense, because they come in with rookie players in Vavel on the field side corner, and Dexter Lawson. I believe Dexter. No, I may have that wrong. Anyway, Vavel corner, Lawson Jr. corner, Cam Allen rookie, right? And they were giving the second most 30+ pass yards per game in the CFL against a team that was generating a lot of 30+ yard pass plays. And listen, they were also going up against arguably the league's MOP and Trevor Harris, who's been slicing and dicing defenses the whole year, who has the best completion percentage, right?
Yep.
Listen, they only allowed one explosion pass, that 69-yard touchdown to Nichols, which I'm sure we'll look at later.
Tommy Nichols, what a freaking game he had.
Yeah, but that's one explosion play against. Now, the defense also allowed an explosion run, 20+ yard run, but that's only 2 explosion plays. Teams average about 2.5 a game. If you would have told me that going into, or at the end of the game, the Bombers would have only allowed 1 explosion pass, I would say those DBs did pretty well.
You would have taken it. Yeah.
I would have taken that any day. And look at Harris's numbers. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
This is impressive. And you can say, the Bombers defense didn't play well enough. But they only allowed 47.6 second down conversion rate. They only allowed 338 yards of net offense, Darrin. Mm-hmm. And they only allowed a completion percentage from Trevor Harris of 63%. Yards per attempt, only 8.1. That's pretty darn good against the Riders on the road. Now, did the run defense get exposed a little bit? Yeah. Mario Anderson's 26-yard touchdown run, I think it was 26.
Yeah.
Was really bad. There were some missed tackles, and tackling was an issue tonight for sure. Another reason why I do think the Bombers beat themselves. If they make a couple of different calls, take a couple of penalties, tackle a little bit better. I know that's a lot of things to improve, mm-hmm. But you can improve on those things. You can improve. A lot of the
here's the Trevor Harris
disorganization, though.
Here's the Trevor Harris punt. I'm just showing it.
Yes, I was just going to talk. We're in sync, buddy. I was just going to talk about this. Okay, the Bombers seem unprepared for this. Okay, and credit the Riders, because this was a smart call, right? But I think a lot of fans in the stands kind of were wondering if this was going to be coming, because they're going for it on 3rd and 6 up 7, right? It didn't really make sense. So I think the Bombers were caught flat-footed. They almost gave up a safety, which would have ended the game. Luckily, it was overruled, Darrin. But those are the kinds of mental mistakes that the Bombers absolutely can't have if they are going to contend with the top teams in the CFL. They're going to play Saskatchewan one more time. They're going to play, or 2 more times. They're going to play Hamilton 2 more times, right? They need to clean these up. Everybody's saying that I'm too quiet. Should I turn up my...
You're too quiet?
Yeah, people are saying they can't hear me very well. What to do?
Well, you just keep going, brother. Okay. Just keep going.
All right.
Yeah.
I could. I don't know. You make adjustment. I'll let you do that.
You're cranked up here. everybody, go ahead, Schnitzy. You were on a good point there.
Well, let me know. Let me know, people, if you can't hear me too well. Steve Smith can hear me. If Steve can hear me fine, then that's fine.
Yeah, no worries.
I know I'm being very positive, and listen, there were holes here, but if the defense would have been shredded for a bunch of explosion plays, if they would have intercepted Collaros a bunch of times, Darrin, right? If there hadn't been all these boneheaded freaking penalties, like Willie Jefferson cannot go offside on a punt at 3rd and 5. Like you can't do that. Now I know it's loud and whatever, but you can't do that in a game if you want to beat the best team of the CFL.
Not the reason they lost. Okay. I wouldn't even say.
I'm not saying it. I'm saying cumulatively, I know. Some of the penalties, the time count violation, the offensive pass interference by Dembski, right? You just can't have those types of plays because listen, Darrin, this is the last thing I'll say. This was essentially a 2-point game. Okay, I know the Tavon Campbell 2-point conversion, interception, and return for the Riders 2 points, right?
Yeah.
I get that. So it's a 4-point game at the end, but this was a 2-point. Oh, yes, the too many men. Thank you, Monica. Another boneheaded penalty. There was a couple return team penalties on kick and punt returns. You can't have those. But this team was right in it.
Yep.
And I will say this right now, and I'm going to get into it later. We'll talk about it more. There was a play that has me steaming mad. And that was, now people are going to say, oh, they should have run.
Oh, did I lose you? Oh, you're frozen. Schnitzy, you're frozen, bro. I don't know if you can hear me. Are you there? I think you're unfrozen now.
Yeah.
Okay. You froze up there for a second. But
I froze. My point is, I didn't mind Brady not getting a bunch of carries because Saskatchewan is the best run defense in the CFL. They plug up the middle, right? It's going to be hard to get yards.
Yeah.
But when you are 2nd and 1, Darrin, and I think there's so many of us that were angry with walking out of Mosaic Stadium on the bus, on the walk up to the hotel.
WTF?
2nd and 1 with about 50 seconds left on the Saskatchewan 35-yard line. It's near the end of the second half. Saskatchewan's winning 14-13 or 14-10.
Oh,
the Bombers are trying to answer back to 2 straight touchdown drives by the Riders. And am I still frozen?
Nope.
Okay. And you, at the very least, you cannot, the only thing you can't do in that situation, Darrin, or maybe 2 things: throw an interception, take a sack. 2nd and 1, the Bombers are in shotgun. Now, in the second half, there was a couple times where they were 2nd and 1, Darrin, and it worked perfectly. That big Dembski pass interference.
Remind me the moment you're talking about right now.
I'm talking about 2nd and 1. I'll find it in my playlist here.
No. Just are you talking about the decision to kick the 10-yard field goal?
No, I'm talking. We can get into that too, because that's a bit of controversial. That was a controversial call.
Yeah.
But the Bombers are on the Saskatchewan 35-yard line with 41 seconds left of the second quarter, and Zach Collaros gets sacked for 7 yards. Okay. Yes. I get 2nd and 1. It's maybe a free play for some people. You throw, right? You're probably getting man-to-man defense in that point. That's fair. But situationally, Jason Hogan and maybe even O'Shea, who's probably involved in these decisions, why are you going from shotgun? He takes a 7-yard sack. You just cannot do that. It pushes them to a 50-yard field goal, Darrin, instead of what would have been a 42-yard field goal. Okay. It could have been a touchdown. Like, the Bombers could have scored a touchdown on that drive. Instead, they miss the field goal and they get absolutely nothing. And like I said earlier, this was a 2-point game.
Mm-hmm.
That's the, points wise. I'm not saying that alone is the difference in the game, but in a close game with 2 heavyweights like this, you just can't make that mistake. You can't, because that's what loses you games.
Agreed.
And that's unacceptable to me. I'm excited about a lot of the things the Bombers did well, but That was unacceptable. And that wasn't
So
the only offensive play call
the other one,
that concerned me.
the other one is this one here, and it's here. I'll bring it back. And sorry about this, guys. I got to get rid of this one. Here we go. Okay, so this was late in the second quarter, or pardon me, early in the second quarter, and it's following the Tony Jones recovery. And
great play by Lawson on that, right?
Yes. And here it is, 1st and goal from the 5. Brady runs for 3, or runs for 2, and then see, there's another look at Tony Jones. Then it's 2nd and goal from the 3, and it was Chris Streveler in on 1st down, handing it off to Brady. He carries it on 2nd and goal. Here it is here. And he gets a yard. And there's been a lot of talk about Chris Streveler and the short yardage package this year, but shotgun? What I want you guys to see in this is it's like, well, what are they doing shotgun? It's short yardage situation. They're trying to make it look like this is a passing play. And it's like, wow, Chris Streveler's in as if they're going to pass it. Well, this is how football works. It's chess match, and it's cloak and dagger, and it is subterfuge, and it is trying to throw your opponent off. And this isn't just a quarterback sneak. It's play action and then running to the edge. Okay? The fact that this is not a short yardage play, even though it's a short yardage situation. However, it didn't work. I didn't like that play call. I'm simply explaining to people why it's not like out of the realm of possibility.
I think that's well said, buddy. Go ahead. Sorry.
I feel like you put your quarterback in this situation, Zach Collaros. I feel like, the run game was not working tonight. Okay? No. And I understand it's like, well, you got to give him opportunities to run. There's a reason Winnipeg did not run the football throughout the game. He had, 4 rushes for 15 or 16 yards in the first half. He had 3 catches for 15 yards in the first half, and then not much at all in the second. But I feel like you need to put Zach Collaros in the game in those situations. You need your entire offense, so the defense has to play you true. Yeah, but
well said.
I understand, like I just explained, I'm not playing both sides of the fence here, but I did want to explain that was not a short yardage play in a short yardage situation, and that it was creative. But I don't understand why you're trying to do these creative things when it's 1st and goal from the 5. Run your regular offense, okay? Yeah. Bringing in Chris Streveler in that situation, to me, is not smart, especially early in a game. I don't feel like you have to do that. The offense was playing relatively well. Just go play your traditional offense and see where it gets you. So it's moments like that maybe aren't absolutely glaring, but throughout the rest of the game, maybe it's moments like that aren't absolutely glaring, but they all kind of add up. On the whole, though, I thought the offense played relatively well. Schnitzy, you were talking about Brady Oliveira's, when you were leaving the stadium tonight, a lot of Bomber fans did not like Brady Oliveira's usage. I mentioned 4 rushes and 3 catches in the first half for like a combined 31 yards, 32 yards, something like that. He finished with 5 runs for 24 yards. Here's your stats. We will say they're brought to you by Silver Heights Restaurant. Be sure to check them out, SilverHeightsRestaurant.ca. They're at Taste of Manitoba this weekend. If you missed them, be sure to check them out at...
Can I just jump on that play
on
call?
Portage Avenue, just west of Assiniboine Park. Yeah, go ahead. Here's Oliveira's numbers.
I think it's a really good point, and I want to talk about Brady in a second. On 2nd and short there, I guess it was 2nd and 3. I totally agree. Like, here's the thing with Streveler. If this was 2019, Darrin, and first of all, the snap wasn't great there. That's on Kolinkowski, and that messed up the timing a little bit.
You mean with Streveler?
Yeah.
You know
what?
You
just showed.
I think that was part of the play design to make it look like a bobbled snap. So everybody would defensively, they would all converge in, and then Strevler would be able to run off tackle.
Interesting.
It's like one of those.
Here-
I'll play it again, but go ahead.
Yeah, play it again.
Yep.
But here's my problem, my biggest. I think you're right. You put your best player, like Collaros is your best quarterback, obviously. You put him in there, right? And if you don't want to run the ball, fine. If you want to do play action and have Zach roll out and try and hit a receiver in the flat there for a touchdown, great. I would like that call. I don't need them to run Brady all the time, especially against this defense, right? But Chris Streveler cannot get the edge anymore, Darrin. And I don't know if that's because of his age or because of the catastrophic knee injury. But that, to me, that decision to have Chris Streveler, I don't care about the play design. I actually think the play design wasn't too bad. Okay? You're trying to get your quarterback on the edge. But the 2025 version of Chris Streveler just cannot get around the edge like that anymore. He doesn't have the speed.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the speed. And that's my problem with this play call. You're not understanding your personnel. Hogan is not understanding the personnel.
They're hoping everybody on this play action will converge to the line of scrimmage, and that they have Dembski here, and they have, I think this is Michael Chris Ike, the fullback. I'm not entirely sure, but they're trying to get a seal block from him on this edge and Dembski to pick up anybody trailing. And unfortunately, this linebacking core and the safety here did not bite. So Chris Ike here he had to take someone else. There's your edge. There's your safety. Here's your halfback. And Streveler is suddenly met with a whole bunch of dudes. So the play didn't work. But I also just didn't like the idea of going to this strange package. When your offense is playing well and your best quarterback is on the bench, I don't get that. Yeah. Bingo Bango says Jason Hogan needs time. It's his first year. I think that's a very compassionate way to look at it. I think that's probably, I'm trying to phrase this the right way, Schnitzy, right? Like, I understand the fans' perspective of that. Like, he needs some time. But the reality is this Blue Bombers team is trying to win a Grey Cup. So do they have that time? I don't think they do. I really wonder if Jarius Jackson is going to have more of an influence on play calling moving forward.
That's a hot take, buddy. Yeah. I think a lot of people in Bombers land are agreeing with you. And shout out to Ryan Dickinson because he's saying I'm right on 100%. Love it. But yeah, I wouldn't, and we as fans and maybe even in the media, Darrin, the reporters, maybe you wouldn't even know it because there's no way they would make that public. O'Shea would keep that all under wraps. But yeah,
100%. He'll protect his guys.
Protect his guys as he should. I don't have a problem with that. If I was in the media, I might, but because it's hard to get
you kind of are in the media because here you are on the Postgame.
I'm sort of straddling the media fan thing right now, and I shouldn't have used the word straddling because that's
you're straddling the fence.
Not a good image.
Yeah. I'm not going to let you.
People are always like,
I'm not going to let you.
Why don't you go up to the press box? Why don't you go up to the press box? I'm like, are you kidding me? You want me to sit in the press box without my Bombers jersey with stuffy people like you and Jeff Hamilton, Josh Bryce, Sam? Just kidding. I love those guys.
You don't want to be. You don't want to be in the press box. Right. Like I had to muzzle Zeno a couple times tonight.
I wasn't even the last one.
Okay. So anyway, looking at the offensive numbers of tonight's 60th annual Labor Day Classic, brought to you by Silver Heights Restaurant. Big shout out to Tony, JC, and the crew. Head to the Silver Heights Restaurant just west of Assiniboine Park on Portage Avenue, SilverHeightsRestaurant.ca. You can find them on all the social media channels too, and best ribs in town. Tell them Bonfire sent you.
DB,
yes.
Can I just stop before you go into the stats?
Yes.
You mentioned Silver Heights.
Yes.
I've been there for La Burger Week a few years ago, but I've never had their ribs. I've never met Zeno. I never hang out with Walby. And you and I never get together hardly, because we're both busy and whatever.
Are you trying to shame me live on YouTube?
No, I'm not shaming you. We're both busy. I'm saying it would be great for the four of us on the Bonfire team to get together in
Well,
Silver
then
Heights,
text me.
have
Dude,
some
we'll talk about it
ribs,
on the bus tomorrow. People want
have
to talk about
some
the football
ribs,
game right now.
You travel on the bus.
and bring in some of our fans, some of the fire starters, and just go to town on those ribs.
This is so funny.
But anyway, the stats. Yeah, the
Yes.
stats.
Yeah, maybe you'll actually be conscious on the 1930 crew bus ride home.
I went way too hard. Oh my God.
Way too hard. Way too hard.
It was great. It was great.
Looking at, we'll talk more about that later. Looking at the stats, brought to you by the Silver Heights Restaurant. Head on down. Tell them Bonfire sent you. Winnipeg, 16 first downs to Saskatchewan's 19. Winnipeg was 38% on second down. Saskatchewan was 47%. Winnipeg, 66% in the red zone. Not bad, but this,
No, it's not bad at all.
they were 0% defensively in their own red zone. Offensive plays were pretty even. Average gain, Winnipeg half a yard up on them. Net offense, 321 for Winnipeg to 338 for the Roughriders. Here's a big one, of course. Rushing, 133 yards rushing as a team for the Roughriders, 25 for the Blue Bombers. Would you believe that? The reigning MOP, and this team has, in a game that I even talked about having, ball control being an important one, 25 yards rushing as a team. Passing, 326 yards for Zach Collaros, and the Bombers, 219 for Trevor Harris. To me, that's a little bit interesting. One interception and 3 touchdowns for Winnipeg. But moving on to some of the areas that really are telling. Winnipeg, 3 passes of 30-plus yards. They had 1 pass of 30-plus yards against Montreal last week in probably their most impressive offensive performance of the season. And it was 32 yards. Today, they had 3 deep plays. The addition of Dalton Schoen, having Nick Dembski, Keric Wheatfall continues to be a real deep threat at times. 8 penalties for 70 yards, 6 for 110 for the Roughriders. Turnover battle was even. And to me, coming into a Labor Day game, Schnitzy, you always say, well, whoever wins the turnover battle, whoever makes that one more play is going to come away victorious. This game was even, and it was a missed 2-point convert that was really the difference. Whether it was returned for 2 points the other way or not, it was a 34-30 game or whatever, a 4-point game. This was a 2-point game, and it was a missed 2-point convert by the Blue Bombers. I asked Zach Collaros about it. He said he needed to make a better throw. That's that's what he told me to my face post game tonight. So that's why we were 45 minutes late, because I wanted to ask Collaros that. I like this idea. Boop Boop BK, what's going on? First time I've seen you in the chat. Live Bonfire postgame at the Heights? We could probably do that. We
have to do that. I'm going to put pressure on you in public, Darrin. We got to get that done. We've got Zeno now. He can help with the production, right? Yeah. I know it's easy for me to say. I just show up and talk, but
it's your boy. At least we get to leave Saskatchewan. First thing in the morning. I'm gonna have trouble sleeping tonight because I'm dying to get out of here. No, I'm kidding, of course. I'm kidding, of course. Schnitzy, Dalton Schoen, I feel like adds such an incredibly dangerous element, dangerous in a good way, to this Blue Bombers offense. Kind of on second take now, I wonder if Winnipeg's game plan was a pass-heavy game plan because Marcus Sayles was, questionable in this game. They had some, other injuries in the defensive backfield. Nelson Lacombo, didn't practice this week and was, waiters, you're funny, was out of this game because they were so run-heavy and Brady having over 200 yards combined rushing and receiving against Montreal, that they're like, well, you know what? We got Dalton back and Nick's going to be good to go. And, we even, Dylan Mitchell sighting tonight. He actually had a little bit of production. So I wonder if that was part of the game plan. I don't really like the personnel packages, some of those things, but, when your quarterback throws for 325, 326, and 3 TDs, and is 70%, yes, please. I'll take that. Thank you.
Well, and the other thing, I'll give Jason Hogan a pass on this, is I agree with you, Darrin. And if I'm the offensive coordinator and I'm playing against a defense that is the best rushing defense in the CFL. But they allow the second most passing yards in the CFL. I'm going to take some shots.
Yep.
And the Bombers did take some shots. And you know what? I like what you said about 𝘎𝙤𝙤, because here's the thing. 𝘎𝙤𝙤 didn't exactly light it up. Like he had that touchdown. He had a long of 26. He had 58 yards, right? He was effective. But what he also does, I think, is he opens up the deep ball for 𝘎𝙤𝙤𝙧𝙬 and Wheatfall. And you saw this at the beginning of the year where Wheatfall starts out with like 5 30-plus yard passes in the first few games. The 127 in the first game, week 2, when BC came to town, right? But over the next 5 or 6 games, I think he had less than 127 combined. But when 𝘎𝙤𝙤𝙧 is in, he opens up that pass game for Collaros. He's Collaros' safety blanket, whether he's being targeted or not. And I think that's something the Bombers can build on. Now, we can get into the O-line and whether maybe they can protect Collaros, because I think the interior of that O-line got schooled by Malik Carney and some others. But my point is it is nice to have 𝘎𝙤𝙤𝙧 there. I think he opens things up. I think Zach had a lot of yes. I think we should we talk about that 2-point conversion, Darrin?
We will. Yep. I'll bring that up. I just wanted to draw attention to a couple of these comments. Ryan Dickinson says, those Zach Collaros numbers. Now imagine if he would have used the play action setup by Brady smashing them. Justin, watching live on YouTube. Running play action without establishing the run did not slow down the pass rush at all. To me, that's 2 great comments. To me, that's what I saw was a little bit of Brady usage early in the game. It helped Zach establish the pass game. Whoever says that, establish the pass game, but it's true. They established the pass game well. And then into the second half, it seemed like, well, you know what, they're not going to run the football. So we're going to let our guys we're going to let them loose. How does Chris Walby put it? Take the chains off of the guys and let those dogs run. And that's what Saskatchewan did. The pressure that they got on Collaros from the first half to the second half was different. It was really different. I thought Collaros still handled it really well, and they were able to move the ball with the pass game as the game went on. I don't see Winnipeg's offense as a reason why they lost today. I don't see the defense as a reason why they lost today. I see, and this is like, I'm in Regina where people like Rider fans expect the Winnipeg media to be closet Bomber fans and to, have blue-colored glasses. And it's absolutely not the case. Objectively, because you just watch this game. If you're a Lions fan or an Alouettes fan or a Ticats fan, if you watch this game, you're like, holy shit, that's one of the best football games I've ever seen. Those 2 teams went toe-to-toe and threw haymakers and had an absolute slobberknocker of a 12-round heavyweight battle. And they're going to do it again next week. Yes, please. I'll have another helping of that. Objectively, Winnipeg didn't lose this game. They didn't win this game. The Saskatchewan Roughriders made one more play. They made one more play, and it was that 2-point convert. That was the difference between this game being tied. The takeaways, the special teams, the defensive pressures, the defensive knockdowns, the offensive plays that we saw from Anderson, and we saw from Tommy Nield, and we saw from Nick Dembski, and we saw from Dalton Schoen and Keric Wheatfall. It was all over. Like, it was amazing to watch. Just a great football game. Objectively, this game came down to a razor-thin margin, and the Roughriders were the team to pull it out. They're the better football team right now. They were at home. Maybe we'll get a different result, with a 12th straight sellout at the Madhouse on Matheson. On Saturday.
Just being in the stands too, Darrin. You cannot underestimate the noise factor. I'm not saying Mosaic is as loud as Princess Auto Stadium, but it's pretty darn close, folks. And we were in the way in the upper deck. And it was deafening.
we, the assembled media, myself, Jeff Hamilton, Paul Friesen, Ed Tate of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers Football Club, Zeno, of course, had a microphone and camera in there, living his best life right now, having a great time. We all asked about the crowd noise, and they said we were prepared for it, and it wasn't a factor in the game. Even defensively, you got to remember, Winnipeg. Those roars that happen before and after plays, can affect the defensive player's mindset as well. But they said overall it wasn't a factor. It wasn't a factor. You wanted to talk about the decision. Which one did you want to talk about?
The 2-pointer.
Yes,
because
I'll pull it up here.
When I saw it live, I thought that Collaros threw it a little bit late and behind Schoen. And I don't remember if there's pressure in his face. Other people that I've seen on social media, they don't like the play call because it looked like it was to the wide side of the field. Maybe that shouldn't be your number one.
Who cares?
Play call.
You don't need yak yards. You need to get it in the end zone.
No, but the ball takes longer to get to the wide side of the field.
Yeah, and
right?
it takes longer for the defensive back to get over there. It takes longer for everybody to get over there. I'm not trying to argue with you, Schnitzy. I'm trying to argue with the idea that play call isn't a good play call. I didn't mind the play call. They went double tight end, and we'll look at it here in a second. They went double tight end, and they threw an out route to their most sure-handed receiver. Collaros said it. I need to throw better football. I agree with him. I agree. He needed to throw better football. I commend him for being honest in answering my question about it. I didn't mind the play call on that one.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to hearing what the players and coaches had to say after this one.
Yes.
But I think Zach may have had...
We're going to watch those right away. We'll hear from O'Shea, hear from Collaros. I'm just trying to find that play for you here.
I think he may have had a little bit of pressure in his face on that one. But yeah, it wasn't a great throw. Wasn't a great throw by Zach. He needed to be better there, for sure.
Here we go.
For sure.
So this is the 2-point convert. And there's a double tight end, Dembski and Michael Chris Ike. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that... We'll get a replay of it here. I don't know if that was supposed to be some sort of fade route concept. I don't know if that's some sort of comeback route. That would be, like the receiver runs vertical and then cuts back. Yeah, I mean, Tavon Campbell, the guy was in the NFL for 6 years, now back in the CFL. Incredible athlete, really good player. Yeah, it's a tough one. That's a tough one. I wonder if we got another replay from a better angle. No, it doesn't look like it. But, yeah.
Now, was that to the wide side of the field? Let's show it again. Which hash is he on there? Folks, we're looking on podcasts. It is the wide
left
side.
hash.
He's on the left hash, and it's a throw. Now,
I don't hate that it's to the wide side of the field because you want more space. I just, Collaros even said that's a route concept that the whole league uses. That's a common route concept. Yeah, I mean, it's just a good play from the defense.
Do you think that
Schoen is limping there, hey?
Yeah.
No update on Dalton Schoen. No update on anybody, as usual.
If he's down, that's absolutely horrible. But
I'm sure.
if he's out. I wonder if Collaros floated this ball a little bit because he had to throw it around the coverage there or around the rush, right? Because I know Brady picked up the DN there. I think it was 85 on the Riders, but I think he kind of gets a little more pressure than maybe you'd like there. And Zach kind of has to throw it around him. But again, because here's my issue with the play call. You know that the Riders have the best D-line in the CFL. So you have to expect that they're going to get pressure. What is going to be your most successful play against pressure? Couldn't you argue, Darrin, that it would be just a quick hitter to the boundary side there, balls in the air for a very short time? You might get one-on-one coverage because they're stacking the box against Brady. I just don't know.
Yeah, but one-on-one in a tight space. That's the issue. You do want
But it's
one-on-one
quicker.
coverage.
It's
But if I
quicker
want to
because
go
of the pass
one-on-one,
rush. It's
if
the
I want
pass
to go
rush,
one-on,
though.
yeah, no, I hear you. But as far as the risk, like, you got to get the ball out. They went a double tight end. They released those tight ends. Like Dembski ended up running a route. But when you want to go man-to-man coverage, like man-to-man your receiver against coverage, I want it on that wide side of the field. I want a little bit more space, especially when it's like, you're on the 3-yard line, right? For the 2-point convert. Here, we'll look at it again.
But people, I heard a lot of people say on that 2-point convert, and to me, I don't want to disparage people, but to me, this is too simplistic an argument. When you say to me, the Bombers have the best player in the CFL, the reigning MOP, and Brady Oliveira, run the damn ball.
Not on a 2-point convert.
It's not that simple.
Not on a 2-point convert.
I know it's only 3 yards. Here's the issue.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I've already talked about how the Riders are the best run defense. Okay? 2, they're expecting the run, right? 3, I don't know, Darrin. Hold on, let me finish. I don't know that our offensive line can open up the holes for Brady like people expect. I don't know if they have that capacity anymore. Okay?
Schnitzy, I'm just going to say, plain and simple, nobody is expecting the run on a 2-point convert, nor is any offensive coordinator expecting to even think about drawing up a run play on a 2-point convert. It's a passing situation every time. Period.
Well, I don't know about every time. I've seen run plays on second.
I would love for anybody out there, hit me up on Twitter at Darrin Bauming. The handle's in the description below, or you can email Winnipeg at BonfireSports.ca. Show me an instance in modern CFL situations where a 2-point convert was a run play. Show me. Not disagreeing with you, disagreeing with that idea. And
a lot of people in the chat are saying something interesting, DB. Maybe we'll run it again if you don't mind. But apparently Dembski was wide open.
But sometimes you go to your progression, right?
No, I understand that.
Maybe it was. Yeah.
Maybe it was wide open.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
But hey, this was a Labor Day game.
I slightly disagree with you.
A Labor Day game that came down to this play, a 2-point convert. Incredible.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the Bombers were down by two touchdowns with 4 minutes left, right?
So Dembski's on this crossing route here. So here's Dembski right here, left side of the line. Here's Michael Chris Ike at right tight end, okay? Brady in pass protection. Dembski on this drag. Yeah, Dembski was open. Collaros has already thrown the football. Is Dembski open? He's right here. No, he is once the ball's loose. Well, yeah, of course he's open now because nobody cares. The ball is being thrown to a different guy. So you can't tell me Nick Dembski was open. Oh, he would have been open. Well, no. That's not how football works. Everything changes in split seconds. That's why you hear guys say, football happens fast. Nick Dembski became open. It doesn't mean he would have been open if Collaros held onto the football, didn't throw it to 𝘎𝙤. Collaros needed to throw a better football to 𝘎𝙤. Didn't get to where he wanted it to be. 𝘎𝙤 came up limping a little bit there, as we've looked at it a few times.
Do you think that was a location issue from Collaros? Like he didn't locate the ball properly?
It could have been a better thrown football. It could have been a better thrown football. But
in what way, though? That's what I'm curious. And I'm not challenging.
More accurately. More accurately.
Okay.
Yeah.
But because some people say you didn't get it out fast enough. I don't know about that.
This is pretty fast. You play a football game and it comes down to one play, and the Bomber nobody asks by how much, they ask how many, right? They don't ask how, they ask how many. So it doesn't matter. There's no moral victories in pro sports. You either win or you lose. And unfortunately, Winnipeg fought right to the finish and lost on a 2-point convert in a crazy Wild West game. Sometimes the other team makes a better play than you do on one play. It came down to one play. Tevon Campbell made a great play on that ball. And Collaros probably wants that throwback. So that's the way it is. Collaros played well.
Yep.
Missed a shot to win the game.
Although I will say, if they kick that, at least get that field goal at the end of the second quarter, then things are a lot different, right? The Bombers the Bombers are arguably winning at the end of the game. Anyway, let's get into these interviews. I want to hear these interviews that made you so late. Shame.
Yeah.
Shame.
Who do you want to start with? You want to start with O'Shea? Let's start with Mike O'Shea.
O'Shea.
Yeah. Okay. Here's Mike O'Shea. Just pulling it up here. So all of you great people can hear from the head coach following the Bombers win tonight.
Great battle. I mean, nobody in here likes the outcome, right? None of our fans do. But if you're talking about the game itself, it's a hell of a game.
Things really turned. You got that 10-zip lead, and then they went on a 31-7 run or something like that. What did you see going on there, and how did the momentum feel at that point?
We went into half down 4. We traded touchdowns, I think, in the third, and they got another one right there, right? So, from my tabulation, both teams had an explosive play. Both teams turned the ball over in the red zone. They score a touchdown. We get a field goal out of that one. Up until that last 2 point, we're now even again with the takeaways. I thought our defense did a great job in the first quarter. They got the wind, and we basically shut them down pretty well. I thought it was a great battle.
Some credit for never giving up, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's pro football. These pro athletes, they shouldn't be wired that way.
You look at the game, you're chasing that, you're down by a touchdown. You look earlier, you go for the 9 or 10-yard field goal. At the end of the half, you didn't get the first down on that second. I think it was inches. Maybe the first one, the play call to go for that field goal so early, to go for that chip shot field goal so early rather than
It's 2 yards, right? It's 32, so they turn the ball over. We're going to take points, right? We're not going to. All points are good points at that point, right? Puts us up 10-0.
Think about it though, given obviously this is going to be a tight game.
I know exactly. If we get it to 1, but not 2.
Yeah. What about the end? Near one of the last drives in the half, where you're facing a 2nd and 1, Zach gets sacked. Sergio misses a 50-yarder, and you have 41 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, we're 2nd and 1. We're gonna
Inches, I think.
Yeah, we're gonna be aggressive. Yeah. This is a good team we're playing against.
Well,
you can't just.
How can you say be aggressive on the second one?
Lily
Be aggressive on the first.
2 yards versus inches.
Yeah.
There's aggressiveness and there's stupidity, right? So, and it points in the game where we're at, and the score is. Right? Yeah. It all factors in. Yeah.
So when you go for it on inches, when you throw the ball on inches, you're thinking, if it's incomplete, you got 3rd and inches. The sack's the last thing you're thinking, of course. Yeah.
Sure. Like in your mind, what's the difference in this then? What separates winning from losing?
Well, we battled back from it, so it's hard to pinpoint. We had a tough go at the beginning of the 4th, where we converted, took a penalty.
The audio's tough, so I'm going to try a different video for everybody out there. So here we go. Let's see if this one works better. Here's Mike O'Shea.
Crazy was that.
Well, it's great. Great battle. I mean, nobody in here likes the outcome, right? None of our fans do. But if you're talking about the game itself, it's a hell of a game.
Things really turned. You got that 10-zip lead, and then they went on a 31-7 run or something like that. What did you see going on there, and how did the momentum feel at that point?
We went into half down 4. We traded touchdowns, I think, in the third, and they got another one right there, right? So, from my tabulation, both teams had an explosive play. Both teams turned the ball over in the red zone. They score a touchdown. We get a field goal out of that one. Up until that last 2 point, we're now even again with the takeaways. I thought our defense did a great job in the first quarter. They got the wind, and we basically shut them down pretty well. I thought it was a great battle.
Some credit for never giving up, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's pro football. These pro athletes, they shouldn't be wired that way.
You look at the end of the game, you're chasing that, you're down by a touchdown. You look earlier, you go for the 9 or 10-yard field goal. At the end of the half, you didn't get the first down on that second, and I think it was inches. Maybe the first one, the play call to go for that field goal so early, to go for that chip shot field goal so early rather than trying to
It's 2 yards, right? It's 3rd and 2, so they turn the ball over. We're going to take points, right? We're not going to. All points are good points at that point, right? Puts us up 10-0.
Do you think about it though, given obviously it's going to be a
Yeah,
tight
I
game,
know exactly. If we get it to 1,
yeah,
but not 2.
yeah. What about the end? That near one of the last drives in the half where you're facing a 2nd and 1, Zach gets sacked. Sergio misses a 50-yarder, and you had 41 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, we're 2nd and 1. We're gonna
Inches.
Yeah, we're gonna be aggressive. Yeah. This is a good team we're playing against.
Well,
you can't just.
Well, how can you say be aggressive on the
you can't
second
just
one,
lily
not be
dip.
aggressive on the first?
2 yards versus inches.
Yeah.
There's aggressiveness and there's stupidity, right? So,
That's
and
aggressive.
it points in the game where we're at, and the score is, right? And it all factors in. Yeah.
So when you go for it on inches, when you throw the ball on inches, you're thinking, well, you've did complete, you got your 3rd and inches. No doubt sacks the last thing you're thinking, of course. Yeah.
Mike, in your mind, what's the difference in this then? What separates winning from losing?
Well, we battled back from it, so it's hard to pinpoint. We had a tough go at the beginning of the 4th where we converted, took a penalty. We're 2nd and long, and then we give the ball up, right? Yeah. So I think if we survive that with a punt, or we convert without taking the penalties, I think it'll be a different ballgame. But they're going to have things they say too that they would have wanted done differently, right? It's a 4-point game. We almost get the onside kick. Sergio's got it, gets ripped out from under the pile, right? Otherwise, we're in business again with 28 seconds left. All right. So I mean, that's a great game. Once again, nobody's satisfied with that. Don't take it the wrong way, please. They battled right to the very end.
Can you explain that rule with Deatrick? It looked like people thought it was a safety, then it turned out to be a single. Like the momentum was it just a
anytime
game of inches
if you're trying to get an interception, let's say,
Yeah.
and you're backpedaling and you dive and you catch the ball and your momentum takes you across the goal line, you're in goal. You didn't run it in yourself, right? It's all CFL works on a basis of how did the ball cross the goal line. So Deatrick's momentum took him in, and as he's running, if you notice, the ball is on the goal side hand. It's not on the outside hand. I imagine if it was in his left hand, it might have been ruled across the plane. So the ball never crossed the plane.
Talk about game of inches.
Inches. Always. Yeah.
What do you say to the guys, or what do you take out of this into next week?
Well, nobody's happy. We got to be better. We fix our mistakes. I mean, it's going to be another battle, but we have to be better, right? We made enough mistakes.
I'm sure I always give you.
I think we operated very, very well.
Freeze your ass, but the resilience at the end. I mean, you guys look down and out, and the guys to get it back, get the touchdown, keep going. I mean, the turnovers, like it looked like it was really strong football. At the end, just came up short.
Yeah, I think it's 2 really good football teams that like to grind it out and battle, and I mean, it's good for the CFL.
There was nothing for the run game. Too soon to say.
I gotta look at the film. Yeah, sorry.
There's head coach Mike O'Shea following a 34-30 loss in the 60th annual Labor Day Classic. Also got words from Zach Collaros, Deatrick Nichols, Willie Jefferson, and also want to get to Nick Dembski. But Schnitzy, I do want to hear from Zach Collaros. I feel like this is an important one for us to get to. I am going to pull up the here. Do I got it here? Here we go.
Can I just ask you something? I didn't quite hear the end where I think Paul Friesen asked O'Shea about the lack of run efficiency. Yeah. What did O'Shea say there at the end?
I have to check that.
Okay. I was just curious. If anyone on the chat caught that, I would just want to see.
The last question?
Yeah.
Yeah, hang on. I'll tell you.
Folks, everybody can notice my Treyfon's Pizza Cup. My good buddy and roommate Carter Chen, a.k.a. Ritz Cracker, ordered the pizza last night. So good.
But you're in my room.
I'm in your room now. But I took this cup from my room.
Oh, nice. Very
Yeah.
nice. I like it. Here's Zach Collaros. I'll let you know about 𝘎𝙤𝙤𝙧𝙚 in 1 second. But here's
That's
the
fine.
quarterback following tonight's loss.
You know, a loss is a loss, but you come out of this one feeling that you never quit and you're proud of that, or no, is there more of the?
There's no moral victory, so
You're up 10-0. Really changed it for that one. What did you see? How'd they take over like that? Finger on how bad momentum felt and all that.
I fumbled. I think they're inside the red zone, so gave an easy touchdown. So it's momentum right there.
Yeah, they got one right back to you. Gave one right back to you guys too.
Yep, we got a score on ours.
Run game, real tough to get going early. See what they were doing.
There's a really good defense.
Yeah.
How much does this one sting, Zach? You come so close in a hostile environment, everything is against you, as you claw your way back at the end. How much does this one sting, given the circumstances?
Every loss stinks, man. Every loss is tough to deal with. So there'll be a handful of plays that you'll want back that you'll think about a couple years down the road for sure. Think about it all week long, and any loss is tough.
You said no silver linings and won't make it a silver lining, but it's the resilience at the end to put yourself in that position. I'm sure you got to give some of your teammates some credit for that.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I always got to give my teammates credit. I mean, we give our all. It's pro football, right? Like, nobody's gonna quit out there. You're not gonna be here.
No, it's disappointing, but do you like being in those kind of battles? Like, those kind of environments up against you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How much trouble now is going to be? Just maybe at the end, near the end.
No, I mean they're a great crowd, so they did a great job. I think we had one. We had one drive there was a procedure. I'm not sure what happened there. And a time count. Yeah. So
Was that noise related?
it was second and 19 anyways. So yeah, there's no. Again, that's not an excuse, but yeah, it was. That's on me.
Zach, are you able to walk us through the 2-point conversion attempt?
Yeah, sure. We brought in deuce personnel. Ran a concept to the field that everybody in the league runs, and I just got to throw a better ball.
So there was Zach Collaros. That last question, I don't know if it picked up my audio because I kind of play around with it to ensure that the subject can be heard. But deuce personnel being those two tight ends we talked about on the 2-point convert, and essentially saying that the concept they ran is something that the entire league runs. So.
It's interesting on the 2-point, right? And actually, it was interesting. Doug Brown also didn't like the call. He said it takes too long. The ball takes too long to get there on the wide side. So it's interesting to hear the different takes here.
I disagree.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, that's what makes us fun, right? The different takes on the same play. So, yeah. But good. Zach looks pissed, and
yep, this guy,
and that's a good
hates losing, hates it.
He hates. You know who else hated losing? We were just watching this Netflix show on the Cowboys, like Jerry Jones and his Cowboys.
Oh, the gambler and his Cowboys.
Yeah, the gambler. You guys got to watch that. I'm not
great.
A Cowboys fan, and
It's
I dislike
great.
Jerry Jones vehemently, but it's a fascinating documentary. And Jimmy Johnson, the coach of the Cowboys' resurgent teams in the early 90s and won back-to-back Super Bowls, he hated losing. He hated, and that's what you want in a coach or a player.
There's a difference.
It should stick in your craw big time. And Zach is pissed.
There's a difference.
And he's probably pissed at himself. But you want that because we know what a pissed off Zach Collaros can do.
There is a difference between loving to win and hating to lose. It's like winning. It's like, yeah, it feels good. I like, I'm glad we won. And then there is losing and you can't shake it. Like you cannot shake it. Yeah, it says a lot. It says a lot about Zach Collaros. It's not exactly common. That sort of hate to lose mentality. Here is Willie Jefferson. I had a conversation with him in the Bombers locker room after the game.
A lot of these Labor Day classics living up to its billing, a kind of a wild finish.
Do these games surprise you with the way they go anymore, with the momentum swings and the wildness?
Not at all. This was a game that we knew we was gonna have. We knew it was gonna be a close game coming down to the end, especially going in at halftime down 1, right? When they got the momentum swing going into halftime with the touchdown, and then just coming out and like fighting, right? They had some big plays, and then we came back and swung back and made some big plays to get it close, and then we got it to but down to 2 and stuff like that. Defense went out there and tried to stop them and stuff. So, like I said, like you said, I'm not surprised that these games end like this. These games are always going to be close, no matter what. 2 hard-nosed teams, 2 good offenses, 2 good defenses, 2 good special teams, right? You know what I'm saying? Whatever team comes out and has the least amount of penalties and makes the most plays, that's the team that's gonna win the game.
You got to speak to just the Wild West and the power of the Canadian Football League. How close you guys are as far as the games you play against one another.
Most definitely, like you can see it, man. Like every year around this time, you can see it, right? The West is always going to beat up on each other. It's always tough to come out the West. It's always tough to be the number 1 team in the West, right? It's a constant battle, week to week. You just got to go out there and play your A game, right? You know what I'm saying? We get the chance to see them again, short week at home, fix some mistakes, and just hopefully we get the win at home.
The defensive game plan you guys picked up this week, were you able to execute it how you wanted to, or did Saskatchewan maybe counter you guys offensively in the second half?
I felt like we were able to stick to our defensive game plan. Getting in Trevor's face early, making them get rid of the ball, taking away his initial reads and stuff like that, making them pump the ball, or actually making them hold the ball a little bit longer, and then getting to AJ early in the backfield, not letting him get ahead of steam and stuff like that. But we got to do it consistently, right? We can't get caught in like second and short, and then let them get first downs and stuff like that when we need to get them second and long backed up, right? So.
Kind of a tough penalty on the PUNT team for you. Did they change up their audible or change up their count, or?
No. So it was just hard count, right? And then honestly, I felt like we were onside. Like we were still onside. I think like we did the little jump, and then those guys moved. So it's just one of those calls, right? I felt like they moved before we did, right? We were behind the line and just stuff like that. And we knew, we kind of knew they was going to do that. So, we already had said, watch the ball and kind of stay back. We were already a little bit further back off the ball than that's so that's just gameplay. That's just, how the game goes, right? It's a CFL game, energy's high. The atmosphere is, buzzing, the stadium shaking and stuff like that. It just happens.
So there's Willie Jefferson talking about the offside penalty he took on a third down, Roughriders punting situation. I think that just kind of goes to show, Schnitzy, that we don't always know what's going on. Just there's more to it than meets the eye. There's more to it than meets the television broadcast. He feels like his team was onside and that Saskatchewan was offside. There's all these things that happen. I'm not saying that's Willie's account of the situation. What do they always say, right? There's 2 sides to every story, and then the truth lies somewhere in the middle. And I think, the officials control that truth in the middle sometimes. So not criticizing the officials in this game. Frankly, I don't even like criticizing the officials 99% of the time. I will when I feel it's necessary and it determines the outcome of a game, but I haven't seen any officiating, and this will be a bit of a hot take, but I haven't seen any officiating that has actually been so egregious that it has affected the outcome, the result of a game between a team winning and losing. When it does happen, yeah, we're going to call a spade, but yeah.
Here's another question. The O-line.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't get Brady going.
Mm-hmm.
Neufeld gets beat on a speed rush for the strip sack by Malik Carney in the first half. Carney had 2 sacks. He was incredible.
Yeah.
He was unstoppable. I saw Wallace get beat on, I think it was an inside, maybe a swim move or something. I have to look back. Is the O-line good enough? And should Vanderpool be playing? Should he be playing at guard even? I don't know.
For Wallace.
for Wallace.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's the problem right now. You know, I don't think swapping one guy for another is going to solve a problem. You know, Winnipeg's offensive line is what it is. You know, like when a hockey team has 2 good defensemen and 2 mediocre defensemen and 2 poor defensemen, that's a weak defense core. You need 2 all-star defensemen, 2 excellent defensemen, and 2 very good defensemen to have a good 6 defensemen in your defense core. The Blue Bombers right now do not have the best offensive lineman in the CFL at left tackle. That was years ago. Stanley is still good, but he is not the best offensive lineman in the league. They don't have the 2nd or 3rd or 5th best offensive lineman at right tackle. They don't have the best interior of an offensive line, from guard to center to guard like they have in years past. This is not an elite offensive line. Winnipeg has had an elite offensive line for the better part of a decade, and now they don't. So, it's easy you never know what you got till it's gone. You never know what you got till it's gone. And I think Winnipeg's offensive line is what it is. It's good. It's not very good or great. I'm going to have, some of the guys that literally play on that Winnipeg Blue Bombers offensive line probably not appreciate me for saying that, but that's what I'm seeing right now, but again, like I've talked about so many times, Schnitzy, here on the postgame or the pregame on Bonfire, there are so many elements to the most dynamic sport on earth, in my opinion, and the game of football. There is game plan. There is your opponent and the myriad things that can affect. There is scheme. There is execution. There is play calling. There is weather. There is crowd noise. There is all of these things. All I know is the end result, because that's all I have to work with. What we see on the field right now, Winnipeg's offensive line is not playing at that same elite level they have in years past.
Yeah, I think we could agree on that. Okay, what do we got next, buddy? What do we got next in the can?
How about Deatrick Nichols?
People saying Deatrick had a tough game.
I disagree.
Okay. Well, let's hear what he has to say.
Okay. Here's Deatrick. Oh, that's Dembski. Hang on a second. I got you. Here's Deatrick Nichols.
Like you said, it was a tough one. It's a game that somebody got to win and lose, and of course we got the short end of the stick that we didn't want. But it was we'll watch the film. But outside looking in, like you guys, it was a good hard fight. But of course we'll fix the little mental problems and everything and figure out how to get the win. But it was them the type of games that you want, but you understand at the same time. No one never want to take a loss, but some of them it's just part of the game. So just live and learn from.
How do you feel the defense did overall?
It's just something that we got to look at during the film. I can't call it. I'm playing it, everything like that. But we did good, but also could have did better and stopped them on the turnovers and everything like that. When the offense turned the ball over, we should have helped the offense out and did a 0-1-3 situation and made them kick a field goal.
Right.
Well, attempt a field goal. If they make it, they make it. But outside looking in, I feel like we could have. That's the only thing I could see what we could have did better on.
When Trevor Harris punts that ball and you find yourself down on the 2, picking it up, do you know exactly what you want to do, or is this all new to you?
I noticed what was going on. I seen when the receivers waggled over, I seen they was behind them, so I understood what was going on.
Okay.
But it was an in-game situation where I didn't fully understand the situation, but it worked out in my favor.
Yeah, did you want to give up a point? Is that what you were thinking? Or were you thinking keep it out of the end zone? What were you thinking?
No. I wanted to keep it in. That's complimentary football as that. I wouldn't want to down the ball, keep the ball out of keep the ball, run the ball out and put the ball on the one or a situation like
You
that.
don't want that, or you do want that?
No, you want to put the ball on the 40 and let the offense work.
Right. And then when they first ruled it a safety, you're thinking what?
It was a 1 point.
When you knew.
It was a 1 point.
Yeah, I know. The initial call was a safety, and then they reviewed it.
No, I know it was going to go.
You did. Your momentum. Yeah. Okay. So, okay, you got them again next week. What do you take out of this for next week?
We play Saturday. We're going to fix the problems, get fully prepared, and be ready to slug it out again.
Good to have them.
There's Deatrick Nichols. Yeah.
Monica's saying she appreciates this locker room footage, buddy.
Okay.
Monica's saying she's appreciating this locker room footage.
Thanks,
Good job,
Monica.
Zeno and DB. Love it. Love it that you could get in the press box there too. That's super cool. Just to move back to the offensive line, there's just one thing I forgot to say, Darrin, and I get the Saskatchewan is the best D line in the league, most sacks. Bombers gave up 5 sacks. That's a tough uphill climb to win a game when you give up that many sacks. People still roasting Nichols on on the chat here. When I watch the game back, I'm definitely going to be watching for Nichols because I noticed him beat on one play. But folks, can you say for certain that Nichols had a bad game? I mean, it's hard to evaluate. You never know if he was supposed to get help over the top, if he gets beat on a play like this. It's so complicated.
So that deep shot, the long touchdown. Let's see if I can pull it up here.
Well, that was Cam Allen, who maybe didn't have quite the right depth there.
So like that's a deep zone concept essentially, where if the receiver goes towards the corner, then it's Deatrick. If they come across the field, the safety's to pick them up, and it was a great waggle, right? Was that the which TD was that? Remind me of the player.
That was the Tommy Neal 69-yard TD.
Here we go. I got it here.
Pass. Look, you got it right there, baby.
Of course, I got it, baby. Yeah, and we'll get a good look at it here. This made the score 14-10 for. Schnitzy, I had us both muted there. I apologize.
What?
I did. You see Cam Allen trying to make a play on the ball. Cam Allen at safety, rookie. You have Dexter Lawson Jr., rookie. You have Trey Vavel, rookie. Okay? And if you want to call that
Lawson played last year for Hamilton a couple of
if you want to call that a missed tackle for Deatrick Nichols, this here, you want to call this a missed tackle? You never played the game. That's a hard tackle to make. That's a desperation dive at the end. Did he get beat on his route? So here is Tommy Neal. Here he is right here. Okay, left side of your screen. Great waggle, by the way. Like Andy Fantuz, Weston Dressler, incredible waggle. Dalton Schoen, like incredible waggle. Where no, he was not offside. But you see, he cuts inside. Deatrick is in deep zone here. Okay, if Neal goes left towards the corner of the field, that's Deatrick's guy. If he goes post towards the goal post, that's Cam Allen's guy. And he goes post. It's essentially a seam route. He just darts, makes a cut, to the post. Yeah, it's kind of like a post and up, a post go. And Cam Allen got, just didn't make a very good play on the football at all. Let's look at it, the original. Yeah.
A lot of people were asking me, a couple buddies at home, some people on the chat, some people just on Twitter, Darrin, suggesting that Tommy Nield was like 10 yards offside on that play.
Yep.
He wasn't offside.
Nope.
He wasn't. It was a perfect waggle. Someone sent me a screenshot of exactly when the ball was snapped. He was right on the line, folks. He was not offside.
So
he looked offside, but he wasn't.
Here's Tommy Nield. He's the inside slot back at the top of your screen, okay? You see him running? There's the line of scrimmage. You see it's the blue line. It's a squeak actually back from the blue line. And if I can advance it, see now, you see that right there? You see, watch the football. Watch the football. The football moves. You can go over the line of scrimmage now. Guess what? He's still, even if the ball hadn't moved yet, this is still not offside.
No.
And look, he's in midair right now. This is still not offside. You have to put your foot down. Okay? The ball is snapped. Now he would be offside. But this is a great waggle. It's perfect. Look, there's the snap. Boom, right there. Not offside. Sure looks like it in real time. There's the ball. The ball's moved right now. Not offside. Great waggle by Tommy Nield, who, by the way, like, first year with the Riders, 5th year in the CFL, balling out right now.
Yep.
Balling out.
Yep. Absolutely. Should we get to our awards, DB? What do we want to do?
WALBY'S Warrior, Westwood Wide to the right. Would love the live chat to give us your bonfire burning point. The moment, and you can say, well, the 2-point convert. But let's get a little bit more into the weeds of it. The moment you think, if it had gone the other way, Winnipeg maybe would come out on top. And happy honker and our game balls. Can I start? I got a WALBY'S Warrior.
Go for it.
Okay. A lot of people have been saying, where's Jonathan Jones? Bombers signed him in free agency. Where's Jonathan Jones? Right? And you got Tony Jones, who was a CFL top performer last week, highest rated linebacker by Pro Football Focus. And then you have Kyrie Wilson, who forced a fumble of Mario Alford on special teams tonight. Huge play. And then you had this, where this is a linebacker taking on a guard. A linebacker taking on a guard, and he's still able to, disengage from the blocker. Here he is. Great job by TSN drawing it up here. To disengage and get up and knock that football down, a la Willie Jefferson, the greatest to ever do that. Kyrie Wilson is my WALBY'S Warrior tonight. Was outstanding across the board. His stat line tells that story. 5 total tackles, knockdown, forced fumble on special teams, was tied for the team lead in defensive plays with 7 for the Bombers tonight.
I think that's a great WALBY'S Warrior. That knockdown was phenomenal, and didn't Kyrie have a forced fumble too?
Yeah, on the special teams.
On the special team, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I thought
that was absolutely huge, by the way.
I thought I mentioned that.
Yeah. You may have, and I missed it. Yeah, Kyrie's fantastic, and if you look at Pro Football Focus, he's one of the top-rated run-stopping linebackers in the CFL. I think. And he's especially a warrior, Darrin, because he's been injured a couple of years, right? Coming back. That's why they brought in Jonathan Jones, just in case Kyrie got injured, and he hasn't. And I think he's played really well. Absolutely.
Here's his first fumble. Reaching back to make that play. We'll see the replay of it here on the TSN broadcast. incredible job by Kyrie Wilson to knock this ball out of Mario Alfred's hands and keep Winnipeg in this game. Like we're 5:20, 5 and change remaining in the game. Winnipeg's down, a couple scores. Was it 31-17?
Yeah.
Right there. Great play by Kyrie Wilson. Huge. Love it. Jake Kelly with the fumble recovery.
Yeah. Yeah, you absolutely, if you're the Riders, you absolutely cannot fumble the ball in that situation. But who's my warrior? My warrior is someone who's been injured for a lot of the year, who's injured all of last year. And he's a guy that stepped in when Tanner Schmeckel went down. They were thin at the D tackle position because they only dressed 3. You can talk about O'Shea's roster management. Maybe that's another conversation because I think the Riders dressed like 9 or 10 D linemen, Darrin, and the Bombers dressed, I think, 6 or 7. So they were light there. Schmeckel goes down. I hope he's okay. That's the most important thing. But Cam Lawson, my friend.
Walking gingerly after the game.
You and I talked about, you told me how much you liked Cam Lawson before this game, and he came to play. He had 3 total tackles. He had the quarterback sack and the forced fumble, where he bull rushes the best offensive lineman in the entire CFL, 𝘎𝙥𝙤𝙧𝙯. Wish he was still in blue, by the way.
You think he's the best lineman in the league?
I do. Right now, I think he is. Yeah. So. Anyway, all I'm saying is, I think he had a great. Here we go, number 99.
Oh no, this I will give an honorable mention to. Maybe this deserves. You know what? This might be my happy honker. This was just a freaking awesome tackle by Tanner Cadwallader.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Great form, plows him into the dirt, and Winnipeg down by 4 going into the half. Didn't allow Saskatchewan to get anything going and keep it a 1-score game. Worth a second look. Tanner Gaskell Cadwallader, a hyphenated last name that is too long to put on his name bar, so he just goes with Cadwallader. Tanner Gaskell Cadwallader has been one of those special teams. This was the Sergio miss from 50. One of those special teams guys that are kind of cut from the cloth of Mike Miller, Shane Gauthier. Look at this, boom.
Yeah, it was a great tackle.
Didn't plow him into the turf either. He just grabs him, and it's Cadwallader's shoulder that makes first contact. But just perfect football technique. Yep. Love it.
Yep.
Love to see that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
we got a Westwood Ride to the right?
Yes. My Westwood Ride to the right, it was easy for me, and I've talked about it a couple times there, and folks on the chat, Zeno. In games like this, on the road against the best team in the CFL, on Labor Day, with all the hype, with all the noise, you simply have to get points when they're there. You cannot make dumbass mistakes, whether it's execution or play calling. When you are in field goal range, you just can't, and it came back to bite them. Mm-hmm. And my wide to the right was the play call on 2nd and 1 from the Riders' 35-yard line with about 42 seconds left. The last thing you can afford to do there is take a sack. And you set yourself up for a sack by being in shotgun. Now, did that 2nd and 1 throw work in the second half? Yes. There was the Dembski defensive pass interference where they got like 80 yards of field position. That was on a 2nd and 1. And there was a touchdown on 2nd and 1, 33-yard pass. I believe it was a corner route to Wheatfall. Darrin, correct me if I'm wrong. That was on 2nd and 1. I think it's smart to throw on 2nd and 1 at times. The defense isn't expecting it. Great. But football is all about situational awareness. You're down by 4. The Saskatchewan had 2 straight touchdown drives. They have all the momentum. You don't have to be overly aggressive. Mike O'Shea even said in his presser there, the interview, there's aggressive and then there's stupid.
Yeah.
And you could say he was talking about that 2nd and 1 play call, because that wasn't aggressive. That was just stupid. And those 3 points cost the Bombers the football game. And again, that's not the only reason they lost today, Darrin. But we talked about, like, in a game like this, and this is going to come up in the playoffs again, it's the team that makes the fewest mistakes. And the Bombers made one more mistake than the Riders did today. That play call was one of them. It completely bit them in the ass. Didn't take them out of field goal range, but even if they get stuffed on 2nd and 1 with a sneak or a Brady run, at worst, they're kicking a 42-yard field goal. Sergio's going to hit that 95% of the time. Instead, it was a 50-yard field goal with tons of noise on the road. He misses it. And here we are with a 4-point loss, which really was a 2-point loss.
Yeah. Well said. My Westwood wide to the right. I don't even know if I want to give it to that personnel package. 1st and goal, 2nd and goal, with Trevor in, and 2 run plays. I don't know. I think I might reserve my Westwood wide to the right tonight.
Okay.
I do want to pull this up for maybe the Bonfire Burning Point. Here. This is with 2 minutes left, and the Bombers trailing 31-24. And it's 2nd and 10 at the Saskatchewan 49. And Keyshawn Johnson picks up the first down. This was a huge moment. And I don't know if a lot of people realized it when it was happening, but this, like, Winnipeg had just used their final timeout, okay? And it's 2nd and 10. You can run the ball and rely on your defense to win you the ball game, okay? Because Winnipeg would be out of timeouts. You're up by 7. You run the ball, then you punt. You can kill a lot of clock. You can leave like a minute and a bit, and you hope that punt play, kills some more time. But this was a huge play for the Roughriders to convert on 2nd and 10. This is my Bonfire Burning Point tonight in a game where there were probably a half dozen legit Bonfire Burning Points. Legit. But I'll give it to this one because I liked the aggressiveness the Saskatchewan Roughriders showed. And Keyshawn Johnson coming into this game, he had, like, in his last 2 games coming into the Labor Day Classic, he had 12 catches for like 200 yards, averaging 19.1 yards per catch. Then it's Robustelli and it's Tommy Neild, but Keyshawn is a heck of a good football player. It seems like the Saskatchewan Roughriders just are a wide receiver factory the last couple of years. It's insane.
Oh my God! And you think about if Schaefer Baker comes back, if Emilus comes back.
Sam Emilus! Good God!
Emilus is one of the best receivers in the CFL.
Yeah.
And then Sean Bain Jr.
Yeah. And 𝘎𝙢𝙧𝙧 just got cut by the Indianapolis Colts, and he was on the roster tonight.
Yeah. 𝘎𝙢𝙧 is nice.
Freak of nature
size.
Physically. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's a good Bonfire Burning Point. I actually don't know. There's so many burning points in this game.
Half dozen legit. Yeah.
But I thought, let me say this one.
Sure.
So first of all, I just want to preface this by saying, people were talking about Brady not getting any touches in the 3rd quarter. Well, guess what? The Bombers in the 3rd quarter offensively had 26 points in 10 games, and they were shut out the last 2 games in the 3rd quarter. They didn't get shut out this game, folks. They had a touchdown in the 3rd quarter, and they didn't run Brady. It's not all about Brady, right? It's not all about Brady, and that Bombers. So the Bombers
offense was good. The Bombers offense was really good tonight.
So Mario Anderson, 2nd TD of the game. Riders go up 31-17. And then the Bombers go 2 and out. But Kyrie Wilson strips Mario Alford on the return, which led to a Wheatfall 33-yard touchdown, which was off of 2nd and 1. Right?
Yeah.
That was great. So now they're only down by a touchdown. But then on 3rd and 6, Trevor Harris with the quick punt. The quick kick there, which maybe seems to catch the Winnipeg Blue Bombers sort of disorganized. But then, I mean, this, and I'm not giving you my burning, I'm just giving you the just at the end of the 4th quarter here. Like, just
crazy.
Just the huge swing here. So Winnipeg is now down by 8 with not very much time left. And again, on 2nd and 1, they throw a long ball from, I don't know where it was, a 15-yard line, 20-yard line of the Bombers. I may be wrong on that. You get a huge PI call, puts the ball in the Saskatchewan 17. You get the shown touchdown. And then for me, I mean, I am going to say, just as I'm talking this out, buddy, you could say it's, I mean, really in my heart, the burning point is that second and 1 where Zach gets sacked, because those points were the difference in the game. But I think you could also say it's that 2-point convert, which, you know, you get 2 points, you tie the game, it gets returned the other way for 2, the game's over. And we maybe disagree on the play call. I didn't like it. I didn't think, if that's your best play on second on a 2-point convert, I don't know, not the greatest. But either way, Zach needs to throw it better, and he didn't, and that sucks. That was the difference in the game.
Just to clarify for people, this is you see, originally called, that's the signal from an official. That's a safety. That's what that means when you kind of.
You're showing the Deatrick Nichols return on the quick kick from Trevor Harris.
Here's the official, given the church steeple, if you will, or the roof over your head. That's a safety. Okay, but after the, not command center, the CFL review center, as they would like to be referred to now, they ruled, and Mike O'Shea talked about it in his post-game as well, as I waved to my good friends Paul Friesen and Jeff Hamilton, just leaving the Mosaic press box here. But here's Deatrick Nichols, and they said his momentum in recovering this football, there's the ball in his hands, okay? And I'm just going to try to inch it along. His momentum takes him into the end zone, okay? Understand, the white line is inside the end zone, okay? And, sorry, hearing some voices in the background here. I don't know what you're doing, Zeno. You on the phone? Either way. His momentum, Deatrick Nichols' momentum, carries him into the end zone, carries him in past that white line. And that, because his momentum carried him into the end zone, that is a single, not a safety. Even though he seemingly tries to come out, they ruled that the single, which kept Winnipeg.
Which is interesting, because he said in the interview that you guys did that he wanted to give up the single, but it looks like he was trying to get out of the end zone.
Well, no, he ruled, like he said that he knew it was going to be a single. Yeah, I'm not too sure, Schnitzy. That's a good point by you, that he said he wanted to give up the single. You don't want your team pinned on the one, right?
Absolutely not. No, I think it's the right play to give up the single. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. What do we got next? You did your happy honker already, didn't you?
Did you?
Yeah, you did your happy honker, I think. Folks, did he do his happy honker?
What's that?
Well, my happy honker, my friend, and I see Tara in the chat.
Yes.
Tara Maslowski. Tara Maslowski, Jeffrey Bannon, Pat Rathwell, they get my happy honker. And it's also a shout out to the host VIPs of the 1930 crew. But those are the organizers of the 1930 crew, those three. Yourself, Hustler, Carter Chen, Dave Patrician, the sports doctor. We got, and myself, we got to be a celebrity. Celebrity is a term I would use loosely when talking about myself. But you folks celebrity VIPs, unbelievable trip. I know this was a loss. I mean, like Jeffrey and I talked after the game. It's not all about winning the Labor Day Classic, but it certainly is gravy if you're a Bombers fan. It's the gravy or the cherry.
You win the weekend, right?
But you win the weekend. The weekend was still a delicious cake. It just didn't quite have that cherry, but it was a delicious cake. And but especially Jeffrey, Pat, and Tara did such an amazing job. We had 2 buses instead of 1. It's just going to keep growing, folks. So get in on the 1930 crew next year, and you'll get to see me have way too many different types of shots on the way there on the bus. That shots that you shouldn't mix. Like, don't mix Sambuca and Jägermeister and Butter Ripple and Fireball.
You were mixing,
it's not
like,
a good idea.
You were mixing the sugary. You were mixing the sugary shots with the hard shots with the like you're mixing everything up. For those that aren't following the 1930 crew on Instagram or Bonfire Sports, Bonfire WPG is where you want to go. Schnitzy, you came out of the gate leaving on the 1930 crew bus to Regina in the Labor Day Classic. You came out of the gates like a bat out of hell. It was incredible. You were singing the Regina song, Experience Regina. You were high-fiving people. You were handing out swag. You were handing out prizes. You were cracking coldies. And you were putting shots back and then doing a shot and then saying, fill it up again, please. You had the best time from Winnipeg to Virden I have ever seen in any Labor Day Classic trip. Any, bar none. And then you snoozed your way through White City and Indian Head and the Capel Valley on the way to Western Regina. I put on my, you were kind of like, burying your chin in your sternum.
Me your neck pillow.
So I went and grabbed my travel pillow and I wrapped it around your head, kind of gave you a little bit of support. I force fed you water and a muffin. And made sure you had to. Schnitzy, you're the bonfire dad, right? I don't have any kids, but you got this big, robust family, beautiful wife Maya, house full of beautiful people and beautiful animals. You're the bonfire dad, but I was the bonfire babysitter this weekend and was glad to be.
But it was so much fun.
There it is. Tara's got it. Zach was the MVP of the crew. You're always holding it down, man. When I got to be at like work things here in Regina on Labor Day, you're holding down the fort, repping Bonfire, repping WST, repping your roommate, Carter Chen.
Carter Ritz Kraka.
Yes, on Instagram, Ritz Kraka.
Any Hustler stories, Waiter says. Well, all I know is Hustler went out late last night. He didn't pack it in like me and Carter did at like 9:30, and he's going out tonight. So if you're out in Regina, folks, and you're out on the town, look for Huss. He's around somewhere, living it up. He's living it up.
Vicky was on the bus in her bonfire hat. I brought like a half dozen bonfire hats, sold them out. Boom, people gone. If you want a bonfire hat, you can go to BonfireSports.ca/hat. Yeah, you were the MVP of the crew. Schnitzy, you get my happy honker.
I don't know. MVP, that's very generous.
Don't be humble. Don't be humble.
I think I'm the mascot. I am like the mascot. I'm the energy guy. Although
all I
didn't
know
have
is
a lot
you're
of
the
energy
happy
this
honker.
morning.
You get the happy honker for sure.
Thank you, sir. Can I also give a shout out to a couple of our fans, Darrin, for this show that we're so lucky to do?
Absolutely.
Matt Harris, ran into him on our way to the stadium after Wayne's World. And the guy is an avid listener. He really knows his football. We got really deep into talking football, had a lot of great things to say. And he accompanied me, among other Bomber fans, to hold the flag on the field. That was maybe one of my highlights of the game, Darrin. Me and Matt Harris on the field. He's very smartly got us to hold the right side of the Rough Rider flag because he knew that would position us right next to the Bomber bench. So we got to give Collaros a high five as we went down and shout out the players. And
You did. You gave
yeah,
Clark
yeah.
a high five? That's pretty cool, man. Good for you
And
guys.
then I wanted to do something that would make a bit of a scene but not get me arrested. So I had debated maybe pretending to fall as we were walking out onto the field. A couple of fans suggested that, but I ended up not doing that. I took off my jersey and I waved it around and hyped the crowd up, and it was incredible. And shout out to Tara, who got a video of that, and I'm going to post it tomorrow on Instagram.
Nice.
But that was, and then the other guy I wanted to shout out. Let me just make sure I get his last name right. Justin, where is his name? Where's my awards? Justin.
I'm gonna pull up while you're doing that. Big thanks to the Silver Heights Restaurant. Am I able to? Yeah, here we go. Silver Heights Restaurant, like there it is, right at the top of your screen. You can see it there. That's the legit first street sign. Like, look, I don't know if you can see, but right under the TE in 𝘎𝙤𝙧𝙯. Can you guys? Oh yeah, there's my mouse. There's the cursor. That's the freaking bracket to put it on the post. That's the legit first one. And yes, that is the legit autograph of the Turtle Man himself. Pretty in the face, thin in the waist, number 85, Milt Stegall, the touchdown beagle. That's at the Silver Heights Restaurant. You're looking at it right now. Just one small spot of the beautiful Silver Heights Lounge, Silver Heights Restaurant. You can also see they got their golf classic, annual golf classic coming up. I don't know if they got any spots available. You can check them at SilverHeightsRestaurant.ca. But the Heights is the spot. And why are they the spot? Because the Heights is Winnipeg's original sports bar. I'm talking in the 1950s, the Heights was Winnipeg's sports bar. Jets games, Bombers games, NFL, Monday night, Thursday night, Sunday. It does not matter. Okay, they got buses going to the stadium for the Madhouse, where you get like a beer and a steak, and your bus ride to Princess Auto Stadium. They are the spot. Go see Tony, JC, and our good friends at the Heights. Tell them Bonfire sent you. Tell them you want a shot of Butter Ripple for Schnitzy.
Justin Casper, there he is on the chat. There's my other happy honker, him and Matt Harris, and so many Bomber fans and fans of our show that came up to us, Darrin, whether it was at Wayne's World or just walking around last night at Crave with the Bombers took over, whether it was at Brandon when our bus stopped to check out the pop-up shop by the Bombers. I love it when you guys come and chat with me, and I'm sure Darrin feels the same way. I mean, this is why we do the show, because of the great community that you guys have helped develop. We just love you, and that's why we do it, and we just love talking balls. So if you ever see us, come say hi. Don't be shy.
Yeah, and you know what? If you tend to see, like, if you see me at the Bomber Stadium or around or here in Regina, holler, I'll give you some Bonfire stickers. I got stickers.
You're always carrying them around,
Yeah, kind of. I always tell people, who doesn't like stickers? It doesn't matter who you are or what you do. I always say, take the sticker and put it on your lunchbox. Nobody has lunchboxes anymore, but that's what I tell people to do. A little bit of a teaser. What kind of colors are those? I know it's a little bit holographic, but those are your Winnipeg Jets colors. Maybe just a tease of what's to come. I know I've said it before, but we're going to do it, baby. We're going to do it. You've got 2 game balls, Schnitzy. Why 2? I don't know why 2. If you got 3, that's cool too.
Okay. I actually have to give my first. I have 3. I have to give the first one to a Saskatchewan Roughrider. It is Labor Day. And Malik Carney, really, you could argue, defensive lineman for the Riders. 2 sacks, including a strip sack when he beat Neufeld with a speed rush, although maybe Kolinkowski was supposed to help him. I'm not sure what happened on that play. Causes the strip sack. The Riders cash it in for a touchdown. They get their turnover in the red zone. They cash it in. The Bombers get the turnover in the red zone. They settle for a field goal again. There's the difference. But I thought Malik Carney was excellent. Is that what you're pulling up right now?
Yeah, of course.
Well done, buddy. Nick Dembski. He surpasses 6,000 receiving yards tonight. He had 89. The Bombers' leading receiver. He had that touchdown on the patented corner route. He now has 82 straight games with a catch. Whew. He has been asked, because of Schoen going down, because of, the shuffling on the receiving core of the Bombers, Dembski has been asked to be the number one receiver on this team, and he has delivered.
Like it.
Saskatchewan, he came in with Saskatchewan, right, in 2015? And Lapo was talking about this recently. He saw that Dembski was being used as like the Z receiver, right, on the wide side, where they sort of stash your Canadian receiver. And he thought to himself, this guy should be in the slot. This guy should be involved. This guy should be running the ball. This guy should be catching passes over the middle. This guy should be going deep. He wanted to use Dembski's versatility and skills and speed. And we're seeing that he's continuing to play at an extremely high level. He's a pleasure to watch, although I do think they have to stop doing those sweeps. It's not always Dembski, but I haven't seen the Bombers sweep more than once this year.
So this was
my last game ball.
This was Nick Dembski's touchdown. You're seeing on your screen here. He had a team high 89 yards receiving, 7 catches on 10 targets, had 21 yak yards, 1 second down conversion, 1 catch of 30 plus yards. Another look at it, your second of 3 game balls, Schnitzy, Nick Dembski, who, went through concussion protocol this week and got his body where it needed to be, did what he needed to do, cleared everything, and was good to go. Well-deserved game ball from you. I like it.
And then I don't have 4, but I have an honorable mention. Yeah, I think I will give I was going to give it to Collaros, but I'm actually going to give my 3rd game ball to Kevens Clercius. Canadian receiver on the wide side of the Z receiver. 85 yards. 85 yards for your
4
Z
catches
receiver.
for
Is excellent, including maybe Collaros' best throw of the night. A 51-yarder. I think it was in double coverage too. Just an absolute perfectly thrown ball. And Clercius makes a really highlight reel, tough catch, high points the ball, falling backwards, hangs onto the ball. And Clercius has been kind of hit or miss. He had 78 yards in the Stampede Bowl.
There it is.
Against BC in the first game of the year, week 2. He had a 45-yard reception.
Watch the replay of this Clercius catch.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Climbs the ladder, takes the punishment.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I literally, when that happened, I leaned over to Zeno and to Britton Gray from the Green Zone, the Riders reporter here in Regina, and I was like, that gives me flashbacks of devastating hits I took as a receiver when I played football. I'm not saying I could do that, because I couldn't, but that hit just reminded me of getting punished with the football in my hands. But yeah, there was 2 catches right there. You just saw back to back from Kevens Clercius, and then it set up. What did it set up here? It was the next play will be the Wheatfall 33-yard touchdown. 3 plays, 64 yards. Clercius, Wheatfall, bang, 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 to bring the Bombers within a score, 31-24.
You can't teach speed and you can't teach size. And Kevens Clercius is 6'3", 211, and that's why he can absorb that punishment on catches over the middle, where he's exposing his ribs. And he hangs on because he's a big dude, right? I would like to see them continuing to give Clercius shots like that, Darrin, opportunities. Mm-hmm. Remember last year in Hamilton, the Bombers beat the Ticats. I think it was like 42-10 or something.
Yeah.
And Clercius had a corner route in the end zone, jump ball, and he got it. And all power to and props to 𝘎𝙤𝙧𝙯𝙚. He was a great receiver for us. Played in the same spot. I don't think 𝘎𝙤𝙧𝙯𝙚 could make those jump balls or those highlight reel catches as much as Clercius. I think Clercius has a different level he can get to. I think he has a really high ceiling, and I would like to see the Bombers offense get him more involved, not just the short possession catches, but give him a shot on some deep balls.
Can we talk about what we're seeing right here? Who was it? B. Sids was saying Zach throws well on the run. Okay, here's the replay of this 33-yard touchdown. Okay, here's Brady Oliveira. They just kind of drop that he lays a nice block in pass protection. Boom, real nice there. But here's Collaros. He does this so he steps up in the pocket, throws while moving. Do you guys understand how difficult that is? Incredible. I'm not exaggerating. He's running forward and like, what? Look at, like, here, I'll get this out of the way. Sorry, guys. Trying to work on a way to not have that come up on the screen in shows in the future. Always trying to make it a little bit better for you guys. But watch Collaros' feet and his legs, okay? Like, when he throws this ball, I don't know where he gets the leverage. It's tough to see with, he's kind of right behind.
I think Collaros, I'm no expert on quarterback play, but I think Collaros has really good upper body strength. So even if he can't step into a throw,
yeah,
he can wing it like that.
But then look, he drops it. Like, that is an absolute dime piece.
Yeah, no, he had some great throws.
Like, here's the original play, and I'll just let y'all enjoy this greatness as Zach Collaros passed two legends in the CFL in career passing yards. We failed to mention that.
I was just about to get to that, though.
Oh, sorry, brother.
That's why I was gonna. Sorry, I didn't mean for that to come out as annoyed with you.
No.
So Collaros tonight,
35,000 in his career.
Yeah, he goes over 35,000 passing yards. Passes Dieter Brock, Bomber legend, and Michael Riley for 15th all time in the CFL.
The Birmingham Rifle, Dieter Brock.
Yeah.
Ralph Dieter Brock. His name is not Dieter. He just wanted to be called Dieter. Call me Dieter. Your name's Ralph.
Brockbusters. Love that. Leslie Michnick is saying his phone is down to 4%, so we need to wrap up the show. Yeah. Darrin, do your game balls.
I'm giving one to Zach Collaros. Like, look at this throw. I can't get enough of this. What a freaking dime. Boop. Drops it in the bucket. Zach Collaros gets my game ball. I think I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it at one. Big thanks. Hey, Ryan Dickinson, thanks for the super chat. $1 for every carry by a running back tonight. 99 cents for the 2 quarterback rushes. It's not all about the run, but it's about the identity, Schnitzy. Hashtag how we won in 19 and 2021. There was another super chat earlier from Jeffrey Townsend.
We had a better offensive line, Ryan. We could have had an
Jeffrey
line
says $20 super chat. Thank you, Jeffrey, for the 20 pounds of elk meat we will send your way tomorrow. I don't know what that means. And
Jeffrey.
Then back-to-back blue, $2.79. Thank you. Good effort by the Big Blue. Feed Brady. Go Blue. So big thanks to all of those people for those super chats. And there was a comment here a second ago. Twig and Berries, incredibly complimentary. Thank you. Twig and Berries says, nice. I think Schnitzy and DB should get a game ball for the great show they put on after every game with the highlights, the commentary, locker room interviews, and surprise cameos from Willie Jefferson. That's a real thing that happened. Joined our live chat, joined our show, and showed off some of his country night swag from a big win they had. That was the night he had 4 pass knockdowns and a strip sack that led to a scoop and score touchdown by Jay Person.
That's right.
Yeah, you just came and popped in on the show. But honestly, guys, we do this for you. We do this so Bomber fans and CFL fans, whoever your favorite team is, can enjoy and digest a game, win, loss, great performance, poor performance, otherwise. Schnitzy, I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else, brother. You bring that blue and gold, bleeding blue and gold element to, I think perfectly complement, the objectivity I try to bring, in covering this league and covering this team. But, big thanks to Zeno, big thanks to the Blue Bombers organization and the media contingent here, that grant me access to cover this team. Be inside the locker room. It's great.
Love it, man. And hey, Zeno, Darrin, for some reason, doesn't want me to meet Zeno. Maybe he's afraid of the two Zachs ganging up on him.
I don't know what
Yeah, you've hidden Zeno this entire weekend. I didn't even know he was here. Where's he been? It's so weird.
He's been with his family. He came out here with the fam. His brother's here. The Nolan Hockey Podcast. You can find that on YouTube. Be sure to check that out. And as Waiter says, shout out to Chris Walby too. Everybody that has helped contributed to Bonfire Sports. I mean, so many.
I was talking to one of our listeners today, and the guy said to me, "Schnitzy, what I like about you is you say exactly what we would say
there you go.
After the game." And I thought that was very high praise. I try to, I myself, I say what I want to say, but if it aligns with a lot of you fans, what you want to say, what you have to say, that's basically, that's where I want to get to.
Yeah.
That's my goal.
Banjo Bull's next, brother. Banjo Bull's next. Walby and I will bring you Game Day Winnipeg, the live Bombers pregame show here on Bonfire Sports, as we always do the day before the game. I know we did a little bit earlier this week, but that was for people traveling out to Regina. But we will get that going on Friday, immediately following WST, as we always do. And then you and I will get Game Day After Dark rolling here on the channel, following the Banjo Bowl, and we'll see if the Blue Bombers, I got a good feeling about it, probably get a little bit of redemption in their second of 3 meetings against the Roughriders in this Wild West division of the CFL. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, buddy. Well, looking forward to the Banjo Bowl. Looking forward to the Postgame After Dark.
Yes.
Love it, love it, love it. And if I can send us off into the ether tonight, folks.
Yep.
In Regina, we came up 4 points short tonight, but we almost won this game and didn't give up the fight. Sayonara, everyone.